surprise? What are you doing here? I can't remember the last time you met me at the airport.
You can't come home.
What?
You can't come home.
Why not? Did the house burn down?
We're surrounded.
By what?
Protesters.
Protesters? Protesting what?
Protesting you.
Me?
I don't care if everyone thinks I'm the meanest man in Congress. I'm still going to continue to do whatever I think is best for this country. Ring any bells?
Leave it to the liberal press to take that one sentence out of context and blow it completely out of proportion. Did you call the police?
About what?
The protesters.
They're up and down the street, the protesters, not on our lawn. They have a right to assemble. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Where are the kids?
I sent them to my mother's. They've been there since Wednesday. It got too hard for them at school.
Too hard for them? Why?
I don't care if everyone thinks I'm the meanest man in Congress.
And I don't. I stand by my convictions.
Well, maybe you do. But they shouldn't have to pay for it. I watched you give that little speech on C-SPAN. Then I went to your website and looked at your voting record and saw what cuts and defunding you approved, and you are the meanest man in Congress. It's not just the liberal press saying that. Your record says that. What you vote for and vote against says that.
You knew what I stand for, what I went to Washington for.
I've been busy. I haven't been all that aware of every vote you cast, everything you stand for, all the things you've said. I do have a life of my own, you know, clients to take care of. But there it was on your website, along with a photo of you with a big, I'm so proud of myself smile on your face.
And I am. I am proud of my record.
Well, I'm not. I find it a little disturbing. More than a little disturbing, in fact. And now people here are calling me Mrs. Meanest Man in America. I don't like it.
Who said that?
Them, the protesters. I'd come out onto the porch and they'd scream, "There she is, the meanest woman in America." They think I think like you do. That your views are my views. That my views are the same as yours.
And aren't they?
God, no, no. Some are. Some. But a lot aren't. More than enough aren't. And neither are the kids. They got tired of having to explain that they don't hold the same beliefs you do on those things. That's why they're at my mother's.
Did you complain to the headmaster? We're paying a fortune at that school.
It's free speech. You love free speech as much as you love guns and cutting food stamps for the needy, the poor, and the elderly. Those kids saying those things to our kids are just exercising that right. I don't like having to explain and explain and explain to people that I'm not you. I'm not like you. I'm only married to you, and really, you're in Washington so much, I'm only married to you a couple of days a week. I'm like a rent-a-wife, someone for a photo op or the Christmas card.
Did you or did you not stand right beside me at my campaign stops and listen to me speak? Was that you or was that not you?
Yes, that was me. But I didn't think you meant everything you said. I certainly didn't think that once you got to Washington, your goal in life was to be selected by a wide margin, the meanest man in Congress. And half the time, I didn't listen.
I stuck to my guns, my principles, my convictions, so people would know they could trust me. Trust that I do what they sent me there to do.
Even those people don't like you anymore. There are a lot of familiar faces out there across from the house. I remember them from your rallies. Some of them are thinking you've gone too far. Some of them are needing those food stamps that you want to take away from them. That Medicare you want to get rid of. Some of them are our neighbors, and they all voted for you.
The Rayburns, the Steinbecks, the Barleys and the Sheffields.
Yes, 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 and yes, they want us to move.
And the Haycrafts, 2 doors down, Bonnie and George.
Hell's bells, and they both just signed up for Medicare. You're on their most wanted list.
But they had a fundraiser for me at their house. They were major donors.
Now I think they'd like their money back.
That damn C-SPAN.
C-SPAN didn't put those words in your mouth. Or MSNBC. Or ABC, or CBS, or CNN, or Meet the Press, or any of them. You did.
What did they think they were voting for? Who did they think they were voting for? Well, I can explain. I'm having that town hall tomorrow.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. It's why I'm here. It was already scheduled before this.
The vendor said he didn't have enough liability insurance to cover the damage that might ensue following any rioting that might take place.
Rioting?
Yes, Ed, rioting. They're that angry.
Well, I'll have the town hall at our house. I'll speak to them from our porch. You can pass out lemonade.
Lemonade? I'll file an injunction to stop you. My name is on that deed. I'm liable for any damage or harm or injury that your doing might cause. No, 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 no.
They're that angry?
They have signs, Ed! Signs they could use as weapons you get out there on that porch.
Saying what?
Oh, what do you think? Down with Stanton. And that's about the only one I can quote that doesn't have some four-letter words involved.
Oh my God, what did they think I was doing in Washington?
I don't know. I guess like me, they all got on your website, read what you've been up to, got up to speed, so to speak.
We did have an unusual number of hits on the site this week.
I guess what they thought you were going to do was only going to affect the other side, those who didn't vote for you. They'd all get to keep their Medicare and their food stamps and whatever else, while those who voted against you wouldn't.
That's not how it works.
Well, I guess it finally sunk in. Everybody has it or nobody has it.
Well, if they'd let me explain...
But not from our front porch, you won't. I don't want the house to be damaged or have any liens on it when we do the settlement.
The settlement? What settlement?
I'm leaving you, which is another reason you can't come home.
What?
Do you expect me to spend the rest of my life as Mrs. Meanest Man in Congress and have people think I agree with your views?
You leave me over this? This?
I don't know anymore who I'm married to. Well, I guess I do now, thanks to your speech, but your website and what you stand for, according to that website, I don't want to stand next to you. The looks I've gotten since you gave that speech, the things people have said to me to my face, strangers, the checkout girl at the supermarket, and the things people have said to me over the phone, the names I've been called, and the things people have shouted at me, the names I've been called from that crowd, mob across the street who would curl your hair. I thought we had nice neighbors, but they know all those words and names too. Even Bonnie and George. Boy, do they ever.
Bonnie and George.
I know, it's been a real wake-up call.
They go to our church.
Well, I don't think they're going to be sitting next to us in our pew anytime soon.
But where will I go?
You get back on the next flight to D.C.
You serious about this?
Ed, really, I don't know what they might do to you when they see you. I can't guarantee your safety. And the police aren't making me any promises.
But the other thing, what you said about the house, the settlement.
It's not how I ever saw myself. Married to someone who boasts about being the meanest man in Congress.
There were other things I said in that speech.
Like what? Like what?
Well, there was the thing about the thing.
So yes, I am serious.
You said for better or for worse.
I thought that meant cancer or something.
That's in sickness and in health.
Oh, hell, Ed, I was 22. What could I imagine when it came to worse? What did you imagine worse meant at 22? I was blind with love. That clause was never going to have to go into effect. Believe me, I'm not taking this step lightly, but I really do think
I know what you think. You think you're better than me. Kinder than me, nicer and sweeter than me, all sympathetic to the needs of the have-nots and the unfortunates, the old and the decrepit. Kids. Life is tough, Linda. Life is tough.
And you with your votes aren't making it any easier.
I am not a social worker. Or someone scattering fairy dust to make things better, turning pumpkins into golden carriages or mice into horses.
Then what did you go there for? What, that? What it says on your website? To make things worse?
Think you're gonna get that house? You think you've seen me? You haven't begun to see me.
I think you're going to show me.
You think you leave me? That's gonna make you some kind of hero to those people? To Bonnie and George, and the cashier at the supermarket? And she's not gonna ring up everything in your shopping cart as some kind of reward. They're gonna decamp from across the street so you can finally get a good night's sleep. You think that when you show up without me?
I mean it, Ed. Those people are ready for anything, to do anything.
I'd rather see them burn the house down than see you get it.
I guess we're done here. Odd, it ending in an airport. Kind of started for us at an airport. Or at least I knew it was getting serious between us.
What?
Spring break, our junior year. We'd had some dates, but you found out what time my flight was getting in, and you met me at the airport and drove me back to campus. And there you were, at the gate.
Don't do this, Linda. Don't do this to me.
I don't see any other way. I don't see how I can go on. I'm sorry. I don't know how you could have gotten so off course. Look at your website. I wonder if you will recognize that person.
Hello, Mom? I was wondering if I could come stay with you for a couple of days. No, I am not gonna take your Medicare away.